You ever wondered why, amid the growing chaos and uncertainty of the world, some seem to walk with unwavering confidence, as if they are being guided by an invisible force? It is because only the chosen are truly safe. While the world struggles amid illusions and empty promises, there are those who have been set apart by God, protected by a divine hand that keeps them safe, even when everything around them seems to fall apart. God is guarding His chosen ones from what is to come, and this protection is not just a matter of luck, but a clear sign that there is a greater purpose at work. But what exactly do the chosen ones know that others don't? And why is it so vital to be among the chosen now, more than ever? In this video, we will uncover these secrets and show why divine protection is the only certainty in times of uncertainty. Chosen one, have you ever felt like the world is being shrouded in a dense fog, where the truth seems to be getting further and further away? This feeling is no coincidence, as we are living in times where a great deception is about to spread. This deception, skillfully orchestrated by evil forces, will manifest itself through seductive lies, propagated by those who are supposed to guide us spiritually. But you, chosen one, do not need to fear, because God is granting you the gift of discernment, the supernatural ability to see beyond appearances and identify what is really at stake. These illusions will not just be subtle deviations from the truth, but carefully constructed traps to make many believe lies as if they were divine revelations. Have you ever noticed how some prophecies have become popular, as if they were the path to salvation, when in reality they divert people from true faith? Fortunately, as a chosen one, you are being protected by God from falling into these traps. Your discernment will be your compass, guiding you through the falsehoods that will deceive many. The protection that God grants you is not only to prevent you from being seduced by these deceptive narratives, but also so that you can warn and protect others who do not yet see the truth. Chosen, you need to be prepared for the avalanche of lies that will come. These narratives will be so convincing that even the most faithful may waver. This is why spiritual discernment is so vital. It is not just a gift, but an armor that protects your mind and spirit against the deceptive arrows of the enemy. By seeking this wisdom, you not only protect yourself, but you also become a beacon of light for those around you who are still lost in the darkness. The false promise of salvation, that all paths lead to the same destination, is one of the greatest illusions. But you, as the chosen one, know that the truth is not malleable. There is only one truth, and you are called to defend it, even if it means going against the grain. God equips you with discernment to not only see the truth, but to keep it alive in a world that constantly tries to erase it. It is vital that you, as a chosen one, continue to seek that direct and true connection with God. In a world that is consumed by lies and deceit, your connection to the divine will be your guide and your protection. Don't be distracted by easy promises or seductive shortcuts. Remember that the path to truth is narrow and few find it. But you, chosen one, were separated exactly to walk this path, with God's protection and guidance. And as this wave of deception and illusion approaches, remember that you are not alone. The chosen are being awakened and prepared to withstand these difficult times. God is gathering His spiritual warriors, arming them with discernment and truth so they can stand firm as the world around them is consumed by darkness. But this is only the first part of the journey, for as we prepare to resist deception, the need arises to understand how God protects us against the coming global deception. In a world where voices are many and the truth is constantly distorted, divine protection becomes even more essential. Imagine being in the middle of a storm, where everyone around you is being carried away by the strong wind of lies, without realizing that they are being dragged into an abyss. This is the reality that many will face in the times to come. But you, as a chosen one, are under the direct protection of God, who grants you the clarity needed to discern what is real from what is just a facade. This protection is not passive, it is an active defense against the lies that the world, influenced by evil forces, will accept as truth. Have you ever noticed how the messages the world preaches often promise security and comfort without demanding a true commitment to the truth? This is the most subtle and dangerous trap. Often, These promises come disguised as generosity and benevolence, creating an illusion that peace and happiness can be achieved without the need for deep engagement with divine principles. These messages are designed to seduce us by presenting a simplified version of the truth that leads us away from the real path. They lead us to believe that the easiest path is also the safest, but in reality, we are just being led down a spiritual dead end. These illusions are often camouflaged under the appearance of security and comfort, but they serve to distract us from our true purpose. By offering us a distorted view of life and what it takes to find inner peace, they lure us into a state of complacency where true transformation and spiritual growth are compromised. Every time we accept these superficial promises, we are taking one more step away from the divine essence that guides us. This deviation may seem harmless at first, but over time it takes us further away from the truth and genuine protection that God offers. Therefore, true security can only be found in a deep and sincere connection with God. He gives us the insight we need to identify and avoid these hidden traps. When we are aligned with divine principles, the false security offered by the world becomes evident and useless. The protection that God offers us is not just a shield against the lies of the world, but a constant guide to stand firm in the truth. By rejecting illusory promises and seeking divine guidance, we ensure that we will not be deceived and remain on the path to true spiritual security and peace. Global disappointment is not a distant event or an abstract concept, it is happening now, all around us. People are being convinced that salvation can be achieved through easy means, that obedience to God's commandments is optional, and that material success is proof of divine approval. These are clear examples of how the world distorts the truth to align with its own interests. But you, as a chosen one, have been gifted with the discernment to not only resist these lies, but also to help others see through the deception. God protects you, not only by keeping you away from lies, but also by enabling you to identify and expose those falsehoods. In a world where most people blindly follow popular doctrines, it's easy to feel isolated in your search for truth. But remember, chosen one, that this feeling of loneliness is actually evidence of your divine separation. God does not allow His chosen ones to be deceived so easily, because He called them to something greater, something true. Your protection involves not only keeping you on the right path, but also ensuring that you are spiritually prepared for the challenges this global disappointment will bring. And this preparation is your greatest defense against what is to come. The search for a direct and true relationship with God is what distinguishes Him from the crowd. While many are carried away by the currents of false promises, you, chosen one, are called to seek the truth at the source, without intermediaries that could distort the divine message. God protects His chosen ones by giving them the desire to know Him deeply, to connect with Him in an authentic and personal way. And it is this connection that will keep you safe, while the world around you surrenders to comfortable but empty illusions. You can't afford to take the easy path the world offers. The protection that God gives you involves keeping you vigilant, always attentive to the subtleties of the lies that try to infiltrate your life. The discernment God has given you is not just an ability, but a shield against the forces that seek to divert you from the path of truth. In a world where so many are being deceived, your ability to see spiritual reality is a priceless gift, proof that you have been set apart for something greater. As the world continues to fall into the grip of deception, remember that you, as one of the chosen ones, have a greater responsibility. God has protected you so that you can be a beacon of truth, guiding others through the darkness of lies. This protection does not mean that you will be free from challenges, but rather that you will have the strength and wisdom to overcome them. And as we reflect on this divine protection, we begin to realize that we are being prepared to resist the greater deception that is yet to come, the arrival of the Antichrist and the unification of religions. Chosen one, be prepared, for the spiritual challenges and persecutions that are to come will not be light. As prophetic events unfold, you will face intense spiritual attacks that seek to test your faith and resilience. These attacks will not only come from without, but also from within, trying to undermine your trust in God and your discernment. Imagine yourself on a spiritual battlefield, where the forces of evil will try in every way to make you stumble. But remember, God is with you, strengthening you to resist these attacks. Each trial is an opportunity for you to purify yourself and move even closer to your purpose as the chosen one. These challenges are not mere obstacles to be overcome, they are an integral part of God's plan for your life. As gold is refined in fire, your faith will be tested to become purer and stronger. You may wonder why you need to go through so much suffering, but know that these trials are God's way of preparing you for what is to come. Imagine an athlete who trains intensely for a competition, going through pain and sacrifice, but knowing that all of this is necessary to achieve victory. Likewise, the chosen face these spiritual challenges to become stronger and more prepared for the battles to come. Chosen one, don't be surprised if you feel isolated or misunderstood during these difficult times. Persecution will often come from those you least expect, from those who should be by your side. But this is no reason to be discouraged. Remember that, as the chosen one, you have been called to a path that few walk. This isolation, although painful, is evidence that you are on the right path. God is using these difficulties to shape you, to draw you away from the distractions of the world and draw you closer to Him. Your faith will be like a rock, unshakable, and it will be this strength that will sustain you when persecutions intensify. These persecutions are not only physical, but also spiritual and emotional. You may face doubts, fears, and temptations that will try to divert you from the path of truth. But know that every time you resist, you become stronger. God is with you every step of the way, giving you the strength to endure, even when everything seems bleak. Divine protection does not mean the absence of difficulties, but the guarantee that you will never be alone in these battles. As a spiritual warrior, you have been equipped to overcome, not by your own strength, but by the power God places within you. Temptations will come disguised as opportunities, as shortcuts that promise quick relief but actually lead to spiritual destruction. You may encounter times when following the path of truth seems impossible or where compromising your faith seems tempting. But remember, chosen one, that God's protection enables you to see beyond these illusions. Your spiritual vision is clear, and you have the wisdom to recognize when something is not what it seems. God strengthens you to resist temptations, knowing that true reward comes from faithfulness, not shortcuts. Chosen one, understand that these persecutions are temporary. They are the fire that purifies and strengthens your soul, preparing you for what is to come. Don't let yourself be weighed down by the weight of trials, because God is using each one of them to build something greater in you. Every challenge, every persecution, is an opportunity to grow in faith, in strength, and in conviction. God is shaping you to be an example to others, to be a light in the midst of darkness. Even when it seems like the whole world is against you, remember that God is by your side, guiding your every step. As you face these challenges and pursuits, remember that they are part of a greater plan. God is preparing you for a purpose that goes beyond what you can imagine. And as you go through these trials, He is molding you to be the person He has called you to be. But this journey of challenges does not end here. There is more preparation needed, and part of that preparation involves moments of isolation and reflection that are crucial to strengthening your faith and purpose. Before we continue, if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one, our ebook is a valuable resource. Find guidance to light your path and understand your unique gifts. Buy now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Check out the first comment pinned here on the video. Chosen, there are times when God calls us to isolation, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for deep reflection and preparation. These moments of solitude are actually blessings in disguise, for it is when we are removed from the noise of the world that we can clearly hear God's voice. Think about a spiritual retreat, away from the distractions and influences that can distort your perception of the truth. During these times of isolation, God is working intensely in you, strengthening your faith, cleansing your heart, and preparing you for the spiritual challenges that lie ahead. This time is essential for you to reconnect with your purpose as a chosen one and reinforce your commitment to the truth. It is in isolation that you can fully focus on your connection with God. The world outside is full of conflicting voices, each trying to pull you in different directions. But when you remove yourself from these influences, you can tune your mind and spirit to the divine frequency. Think about how an athlete retreats to train in silence before a big competition. This preparation time is crucial so he can be in top form when the battle arrives. Likewise, these periods of isolation are your spiritual training, where you can strengthen your soul and be ready to face whatever challenges the future brings. During this time of isolation, you may discover aspects of yourself that were previously hidden. Perhaps there are old wounds that need healing, or areas of your life that need greater spiritual discipline. God uses these moments to reveal these needs and to work in you in ways that would be impossible in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Chosen, do not see isolation as a withdrawal, but as an opportunity for growth. It is in this silence that God speaks loudest, revealing secrets and wisdom that will strengthen your journey.